Hello class, short video about plagiarism. It's something that you don't want to do. The college takes it seriously and I take it seriously. So let's go over it so everyone knows what it is. Plagiarism is the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. Pretty straightforward. I like to think of plagiarism in two discrete categories. There's intentional plagiarism, cheating, copying, having someone else write your work and turning it in like it's your own, copy and pasting Wikipedia without citing Wikipedia, publishing something without permission from the creators. Then there's unintentional plagiarism, which is probably the vast majority of cases of plagiarism in the college setting. This can occur when a student uses careless paraphrasing, poor documentation, or forgets to cite, failure to use their own voice when writing. So when do you need to cite a work so you don't commit plagiarism? Well, obviously whenever you quote something, right? Most people know that. But also paraphrasing and summarizing someone's work. Even if you don't use their words verbatim, but they're their ideas, their findings, their work, you still need to cite it, even if it's not a verbatim quote. It's still important that you give credit where credit is due. Let's take a look at some examples. So these are going to be scientific examples. So I'm imagining that I'm writing a research paper and I'm writing the introduction, and leading up to my own research, my own hypothesis and test and analysis, it's important for me to give information, introductory information, to the reader. So they're sort of up to speed on all the science that came before and what all of my research is built on. So I've got this quote here from another paper. This is a fictitious paper that I'm going to use in my paper. And so the original quote is, "Our study clearly shows that neuroendocrine manipulation through administration of endocannabinoids had a significant impact on metabolic physiology and cognitive behavior, notably generation of the munchies." So in the purple text below, this is what I have in my introduction, whereas the white text is the quote from the fictitious paper itself. So in my paper, I'm writing, Constantini et al., 2021, show that manipulation through administration of endocannabinoids had a significant impact on metabolic physiology and cognitive behavior, notably generation of the munchies. So pause, take a look at these two, ask yourself, is this plagiarism? And then unpause and I'll give you the answer. So, what is the answer? It's plagiarism, unfortunately. So why is that? I mean, I got Constantini et al. I had a citation for it, for goodness sake. Well, look at the original text from the original paper, and this is what I wrote in my paper. All the blue text is verbatim. It's exactly the same. I need quotation marks around it, right? Duh. What a mistake. So, a verbatim passage that is not quoted is plagiarism. So, I've put quotations around the verbatim passage, and we are all good. We have not committed plagiarism. Let's take a look at another example. Same quote from the same paper before. And in my paper, I've written, endocannabinoids can produce the munchies. And then I give the citation for Constantini et al., 2021. Is this plagiarism? It's not. We did a good job. No plagiarism here. Right? I completely summarized the above quote. There's no verbatim text. There's not a string of text. If you remember that guideline before, if you're wondering, when does it turn from paraphrasing into a verbatim quote? Usually if you have 6 or more words strung together that are verbatim from the original work, you should probably put quotation marks around it. Let's take a look at another example. Right, still working with the same quote here from Constantini et al. I've written, Constantini et al. Indicate that metabolic physiology and cognitive behavior, notably generation of the munchies, was significantly impacted by neuroendocrine manipulation through administration of endocannabinoids. So, how did I do this time? Go ahead and pause and make a decision. No good. This is plagiarism. Why? Well, this is an example of just sloppy paraphrasing. Right? I've largely quoted the text. The two red passages are quotes. And the two green are verbatim. I just switched them around in my sentence. Right, so I've quoted the reader here, but I haven't put quotation marks around it. So this indeed is plagiarism. Sloppy paraphrasing can lead to plagiarism. So, and this can be a real challenge, especially if you're working on something where you're giving a lot of information from a lot of different sources, and this is certainly the case in scientific writing. Not necessarily science writing, but when you're writing like a research paper for publication, paper could have hundreds of citations. So what do? Well, the best thing to do is to read it, the original source, understand the information that you want from it, put that source away, stop looking at it, go to your paper and write it from your head. Very rarely are you going to end up paraphrasing the original to such an extent where it's a near quote. So you need to use your own voice. So resist the temptation to sort of continually look back at original sources while you're writing. Use your own voice. Put it away. Don't fall into the trap of sloppy paraphrasing. All right, here's another one. Original quote from the original paper. And this time, Constantini et al. Indicate that the munchies, a specific interaction between metabolic physiology and cognitive behavior, can be affected by an individual's neuroendocrine state when it has been changed via endocannabinoid manipulation. What do you think? All right, this is not plagiarism. It's because we've used our own voice. So the only string here that's verbatim from the original is this little bit here, metabolic physiology and cognitive behavior, which is really just a list of things. There's only so many ways you can describe that. And plus, it fits under our 6-word limit, right? 5 words. Yeah, under our general rule here, that's kind of safe for paraphrasing. We haven't entered into the realm of needing quotations yet. Right? So, that's good.